Hi guys, so I think I said I was gonna do a wrap up for my nonfiction November. Well, I was sort of trying to cheat a bit and read something in the beginning of December. That's not happening either. So I'm just gonna tell you, out of that TBR I made, I read the grand total of 0 books. In the beginning of the month, I started immediately reading the first one, watching the English, which is supposed to be like a behavioral observation of the nature of English people. And I am really, really interested in that. But somehow, you know, when there's suddenly a lot of things going on and you put down your book for a few days or a couple of weeks, perhaps, and you sort of lose the drive a little bit and just end up not picking it up even though you were loving the book. Yeah, it makes no sense, but that's what I do. So I need to get back to it. But because I really didn't have a lot of time, I decided to go for something a bit shorter and lighter, and I picked up a book where I actually was in this halfway through stage, and that's Backstory by David Mitchell. David Mitchell is probably my favorite comedian ever, apart from Victoria Wood. And this is his memoir, so I was really enjoying that. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend it to someone who's not his fan, if you know what I mean. The structure of the book sometimes felt a little bit forced. He's walking around London, and the things he sees remind him of some stuff from his past. But sometimes it doesn't feel completely organic. Yeah, I'm not sure how I would feel if I wasn't his fan, but I am, so I enjoyed it. And then when I was visiting London at the end of the month, I picked up 2 new books, which were both non-fiction, so I have to tell you about those. I mentioned in my last video how I was loving the Shakespeare trilogy by the Donmar Theatre, where Harriet Walter played the leads in all 3 plays. And they were selling her recent book, Brutus and Other Heroines, playing Shakespeare's roles for women. Obviously, even the title is just brilliant, isn't it? So I had to pick it up because I liked the show so much. And they were actually selling signed copies. I have to say, I enjoyed it very much. There are a couple of chapters about those productions that I have just seen, so it was incredibly interesting to learn more about the process of how they were created. Not all of the things she talks about are necessarily visible in the end product, I would say, in the productions, but it's just fascinating for me as a theatre maker how they were thinking about the plays and approaching the text. She also talks about her earlier Shakespeare roles. It's sort of an account of all her major parts in Shakespeare. And what really stands out in this book is the shift in the role of women. In the earliest productions in the 70s or 80s, she felt this strong need to show the female characters as wholesome people, which is just astonishing that that's something you need to stress, but apparently it was. And then she takes you on a real journey, eventually getting to play these amazing, strong female characters, taking you to present when the male roles can also be claimed for female actresses. And finally, the gender is starting not to matter. She has quite a nice writing style, and I would say if you're someone who wants to get into Shakespeare, or you've read some Shakespeare plays and wasn't quite taken by them, I think this could be a really nice companion book to read, to sort of understand it more fully. She's very intelligent and well spoken and clearly thinks about those characters a lot, while also recognizing that Shakespeare is not something for scholars. it is meant to be performed. So I thought this balance of someone who is not an academic, is a practitioner, but still can think about these things in context, that was amazing. And another book I bought is this one. Isn't it cute? It's called Hyde Park Gate News, the Stephen family newspaper. It was written by Virginia Woolf when she was a child with her sister Vanessa and brother Toby. I always used to be quite a big Virginia Woolf fan. I especially love her diaries, but I had no idea that this existed. I think it was published in like 2005, but this is the first time I came across this. And when I was like 5, I also was writing like the family newspaper. Mine was much worse and much more short-lived than this one, clearly. But when I saw this, I just had to buy it, and it was like £3.50. I just find it unbelievably cute. And these pictures on the cover are from a Christmas edition of the newspaper, so one of them draw it. There is an introduction in this saying that probably most of the articles were actually written by Virginia and transcribed by Vanessa. They can identify the handwriting. I usually read just a little bit before bed or on the tube or something. Obviously it's not a continuous text, so you can just dip in and out of it, and it makes me smile every time because it's just so cute. Usually there are some like little news about what's happening with their family. Interestingly, as they point out in the introduction, the real sort of life events like someone's death are not mentioned in here. But apart from that, there are also like little poems or letters from readers or like quizzes. You know, just sort of kids playing and pretending they're journalists. It's a bit silly and pompous sometimes. It is a joy to read. And that's it for today. I hope that I will get to all those books I had in that TBR in the next few months. We'll see. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye! And look at the beautiful sunset. Okay, leaving now for real. Bye!